Hey folks, Kevin the editor here with the second of several videos in this Chamber of Commerce candidate forum series from Thursday evening, April 25th, 2024 at the Rockmart Theater. This one features school board candidates including District 5's Greg Teams and Jeff Hawkins and District 6's Christina Robinson and Drew Williams. Of note, Williams was the only candidate who participated in answer questions on Tuesday evening, April 23rd at the first session of the candidate forum at the Cedartown Performing Arts Center. That video is available on polktoday.com, free for all to consume. Due to this part being more than an hour long, I split this portion of the forum into two parts. This is part one of the session for the school board candidates. Okay, folks, make sure to get comfortable, grab a snack, hit the pause button when you need a break.
Next, we will speak with our candidates for Polk County School Board. District 5 will sit at the table here in the middle, our candidates for District 5, and District 6 will sit at the far table. And we'll introduce them once they join us on stage. But just a quick reminder as they're making their way, we do have some information available to you, provided by the Polk County Elections Office. Informational cards in the lobby should you need general voter information, and as a reminder, this is for the May 21st election. Please allow me to introduce our candidates for Polk School Board, and we will, the way this will flow, we will ask all four questions, or all four candidates the question, but keep in mind they're separated by district. So to our immediate left are our candidates for District 5, and that is Greg Teams and Jeff Hawkins. And on the far end there are our candidates for District 6, Drew Williams Jr. and Christina Robinson. So welcome to all four of you, and thank you for participating tonight. Mr. Teams, we will ask this question of you first, and then go down the line, Mr. Hawkins, and so on, and then we will rotate through who answers those questions first each time. So Mr. Teams, our first question, what motivated you to run for the school board, and what specific experience or skills do you bring to the table that would benefit the Polk School District?
Well, is this on? Hello. I am proud to say that I attended school here in Polk County. I'm old enough to have attended Fish Creek Elementary. I won't tell you how old I am, but I started there. After graduating high school, class of '82, Rockmart High School, it was my goal to come back to Rockmart High School and teach. And I did that. I started teaching at Rockmart High School in 1987 and continued until my retirement in Polk School District in 2022. I have taught at every grade level, except for kindergarten. I've taught grades 1 through 12. I left the classroom after 23 years and went to the central office, where I was student services director for a number of years, then moved into the role of assistant superintendent, still over student services and other facets of the school district. For a short while, we went through a little issue with the superintendent that only stayed a few months, and I took over the role as interim superintendent for a period of 6 years. So I've sat in the chair. I know what it's like to be the superintendent. I know what it's like to be in those executive sessions and the school board meetings. 36 years in education, that is my passion. That's what I know, that's what I do. After retirement in 2022, I came back for a year and ran the alternative school programs. I'm not doing that any longer. I'm currently enrolled for the Georgia Vocational Rehabilitation Agency, and I run a residential facility in Cave Spring where we work with special needs children and young adults to teach them independent living skills and job training. So out of public education into that form of education. I love Polk County. I've got a granddaughter at Eastside Elementary. I've got a grandson that's 8 months old, and I can't wait to see him go through the school program here. So this is my home. This is where I plan to stay. Thank you.
Mr. Hawkins, same question. What motivated you to run for the school board, and what specific experience or skills do you bring to the table that would benefit the school district?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be here tonight. I spent my entire career in Polk School District teaching agriculture. My first day will be spent with Polk School District, and my last day, in 26 days, will be with Polk School District. So I love serving kids, putting students first, and I think my record in the ag department shows that. I've been through all the different positions from department chair to leadership team in the school level. I've been involved with funding and how funding operates at the school level. And I just want to continue my service after retirement with Polk School District. I've seen good policies and I've seen bad policies affect both students and teachers. And I'd like to keep the good ones going and work on the bad policies for sure. I spent 29 years in the military. I've led troops in peacetime and in wartime, and strong leadership is what I've learned both working for Polk School District and serving in the military. Trust that verifies kind of what I want to bring back to the school board, and I look forward to serving District 5.
Thank you. We'll move now to our District 6 candidates, Christina Robinson and Drew Williams. Ms. Robinson, this first question, or you'll answer that question first. What motivated you to run for the school board, and what specific experience or skills do you bring to the table that would benefit the district?
I believe my decision to run for District 6 was driven by the lack of response from within our community. As a lifelong resident of Polk County and a graduate of the class of 2017 from Rockmart High School, I have witnessed firsthand the areas that need to be changed within our school system. With my daughter entering the school system this upcoming school year, I feel that stepping up to make a change for the better is necessary. Our children are the future, and it all starts within the education they receive. My skills for this position have developed over the years while working in the front office for Rockmart Slate. I have honored the ability to multitask, manage time, handle finances, stay organized, and establish a collaborative process to set goals. I also believe that the main focus should be within the success of all of our students in the district. I'm deeply committed to ensuring that our school provides the best possible learning environment for our students.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Same question. What motivated you to run for the school board, and what experience or skills do you bring that would benefit the district?
I don't think most people aspire to be involved in politics, but those that do, I think, feel a sense of responsibility to give back, and I've been blessed in my life and success through influences from my family, my church, the school district, and our community. I'm the son of parents who both retired in the school system. My father taught for 30 years here with Polk School District. I'm the father of 2 children, one that has graduated, one that is fixing to graduate, and I'm a spouse of an employee and a grandfather to an incoming kindergarten student, a preschool student. As far as experience or skills, I've been involved in the community in several different leadership roles. I've been involved with the school as a community coach, volunteer on several panels as both a parent and a business owner. And I've got 25 and a half years of experience as a real estate appraiser and have a successful business. And you go, well, what does a real estate appraiser have to do with the school system? On a daily basis, I constantly am analyzing cost, value, and possible returns on investment. That involves statistics, finance, construction costs, plans and specs, potential or realistic value of return on investment, and features and their appeal or impact. We have to put more effort into our school system and our parents and our students. Not to say that it's not being done now, but we need to increase the expectations and return on investment of our students, teachers, and employees.
Thank you. Our next question will be addressed to you first, Mr. Hawkins. How do you envision the role of the school board in supporting student success, and what strategies do you have for improving student achievement and closing achievement gaps?
Right, and that's a long question, and could be a possibly long answer. I mean, we have days where we could talk about how to close that student gap, but I think some of the things are pretty obvious to most people. You know, if we put students first, everything that we do and decisions that we make is based on how is that affecting the student, I think we're going to be in good shape. So we need to set clear policies, hire and retain good people, and then be financially responsible and support our teachers. I mean, that's kind of what we're here for. At the end of the day, everything gears around is that kid get the proper education, and more of is that student going to be a productive citizen? You know, and that's kind of what we have to look at as a board member. So, you know, that's, you know, from school board to central office to maintenance to all those positions and all those people are there just for that, make sure that student learns. And I think that's what we need to focus on is those. Now, to close the gap, you know, we've got to start holding, you know, students and teachers responsible for what's going on. And at the end of the day, there's no better person to do that than the school administrators. So we hire good administrators, high school principals, middle school principals, elementary school principals, hire good administrators and let them run their school. They're on the front line. They're managing the personnel that has having a direct impact on those students. That they should be driving the bus, and we just make sure that bus has got fuel and they got food, and they should be good to go. And hold them accountable. You know, those principals, you know, they want what's best for your kids. Those teachers want what's best for your kids. And when it's not happening, that's when the central office or the board of education can help with guidance. So we'll allow those administrators to run those schools, and every school in the district is different. So it's not cookie cutter. It can't be the same. So Rockmore High School is going to be run totally different than Cedartown High School. It's different people, it's different staff, it's different students, it's a different environment. So let them handle, as long as at the end of the day we're meeting the student achievement and we're producing productive citizens, and they can go into the workforce or they can go into college and get into the workforce. I think that's one of the ways we can start shrinking that gap. COVID hurt us with some policies and then the absences, but I think we're way past that, and we need to get back to a solid foundation from the student perspective up is where we need to be focused on.
Okay. And to keep the candidates for each district group together, Mr. Teams, you'll answer that question next. So how do you envision the role of the school board in supporting student success, and what strategies do you have for improving student achievement and closing achievement gaps?
The school board has to make sure that the superintendent is challenged with rigor and that our students are receiving what they need at an early age. We've got to start very young, compare our scores with other systems. We know we've got to do some improvements in math, and we need to do some improvements in reading. I believe if you can do math and you can read, you're going to be successful. You're going to work on closing those gaps, because those are critical needs for any field of education, well, in any area of education. So that is critical. So we've got to challenge that, make sure that things are in place. I agree with Mr. Hawkins. COVID really set us back. It set us back. I'll never forget when Governor Kemp said we're going to shut down schools for 2 weeks in March of 2020, and we're still feeling the repercussions of COVID. But hopefully the worst is past us and we won't have to experience that again. But now we've got to push. We've got to make sure we are supporting our teachers. We have to make sure that our students are getting the needs. We're supplying what those the resources that those teachers need to ensure that our students have that success. It has to start there.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. That question to you. How do you envision the role of the school board in supporting student success, and what strategies do you have for improving student achievement and closing achievement gaps?
I think this is achieved by holding all involved, including myself, to a higher standard of expectation and achievement. This does not only include staff, but also includes student and parent involvement. You can have the best employees and facilities, but if everyone is not plugged in to a desire to seek success, then there's a potential for failure. A student or parent that is not on board with striving for success through accountability will suffer and fall behind. We must find a way to reach each student, give each student the opportunity to reach full potential, but also recognize that each individual student may have a different level of success. By challenging and encouraging, we must ensure that each student gets the opportunity to achieve or exceed their potential and goals in their education. This can only be done if everyone buys into the pursuit of and goals, self-worth, self-confidence, dreams, and accountability. We have some students, and I hear this from teachers in other counties, and here, some students they're satisfied with showing up. That is their level of success. Unfortunately, those students impact our test scores and our grades. We can't just hold the teachers and administrations, responsible for that person or that student. However, pass-fail has to come back into the system as part of the accountability. Maybe pass-fail encourages that student to take a different path and change their goals and outcome.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Same question. How do you envision the role of the school board in supporting student success, and what strategies do you have for improving student achievement and closing achievement gaps?
I believe the role of the school board in supporting student success is very crucial. The board should focus on creating policies that prioritize students' achievements and their well-beings. My strategies for improving student achievements and closing achievement gaps include implementing personalized learning approaches to cater to individual students' needs, providing additional support for struggling students, promoting teacher professional development, and fostering a collaborative relationship between the school board, the educators, and the community. Additionally, I would aim to advocate for equitable resource allocation and access to educational opportunities for all students, regardless of their backgrounds and their circumstances.
Thank you. And just a reminder to all candidates, 2-minute time limit on it, responding to questions, a yellow light at 1 minute, and then a red light once your time is complete. We will begin with the District 6 candidates on this question, starting with Ms. Robinson. How do you plan to engage with parents, teachers, and the community to ensure their voices are heard in decision-making?
As a candidate for District 6 School Board, I plan to engage with parents, teachers, and the community through various channels to ensure their voices are heard within the decision-making. I believe by having listening sessions to gather input and feedback from all stakeholders is a very crucial part in the role of being on the school board. Additionally, I will establish open lines of communication, whether that be through emails, social media, and other platforms to encourage continuous dialogue. I also intend to collaborate with parent-teacher associations, community organizations, and local leaders to understand their perspectives and concerns. By fostering transparent and exclusive design-making processes, I aim to ensure that the voices of parents, teachers, and the community are essential to shaping the direction of our school district.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Same question. How do you plan to engage with parents, teachers, and the community to ensure their voices are heard in decision-making?
I plan to simply be present and available to listen to all voices with an open mind and common sense approach to resolving issues. I feel that I've always taken pride in being able to interact, relate, and understand others where they are. Every day is an opportunity to impact someone's life in a positive way, whether you agree or disagree. An ability to civilly communicate with others, no matter the circumstances involved, is important. In discussions with others, I try to listen to viewpoints and opinions with an open mind and consideration. I've learned that people feel the way they feel regardless of what you think. I feel that I'm able to have conversations with others with understanding that in the end, agree or disagree, that all involved walk away being heard and respected in the pursuit of common sense resolutions. My wife will tell you I get myself into certain situations and conversations with people at times that probably have a different view or an opinion than I do. But at the end of the conversation, if you can shake hands and agree to disagree, or have an understanding and a respect for one another, is the main goal in moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Team. Same question. How do you plan to engage with parents, teachers, and the community to ensure their voices are heard in decision-making?
Well, you have to be approachable. I mean, you just have to be approachable. Most of my time spent as an administrator was spent, I was usually the first line of communication when parents had questions or concerns, so I'm accustomed to that. I've been praised and cussed at probably in the same day, so I'm thick-skinned, but I'm a good listener. Bottom line, I live where I live, I'm approachable. I don't mind giving anyone my cell phone number, my email address. I don't mind meeting with folks. I know ultimately, if elected, I'll represent District 5, but we're a small community. We know everyone up here on this table, probably most people in the crowd. We're going to hear from people outside of our district, but they're all our kids. So anything we hear, we've got to bring it to the table. Whether we agree, it may not be my philosophy, it might not be what I believe, but if I'm not that voice, I should have been elected. I've got to be the voice for my district and for the students and parents.
Mr. Hawkins, how do you plan to engage with parents, teachers, and the community to ensure their voices are heard in decision-making?
Yeah, for me, that should be an easy one. Most people either, I taught them, I taught their kids, or I taught their grandkids. And most people already have my cell phone number. So that one's pretty easy. But, just reaching out to the folks in your district. And even now, I can go to Walmart, or I can go to Triangle or Eagles, and somebody's going to approach me and talk to me about the ag program or the schools or what's going on. So be out in the community. Be in the schools when you're allowed as a school board member. I think that's important. And then be at school activities. Even as a teacher, administrator, or a school board member, the kids are better if you're at their activities. So they look forward to that. They want to see you there. And it shows that you hold them up on a pedestal, that they're important. They're the reason that you're there. So engaging with the community is easy. It's just answer the phone, answer the email, and talk to the folks at Walmart. And it's pretty easy. It's a small district. It's a small town. So it doesn't take long to get around to everybody. And at the end of the day, I want to represent District 5. And what your issues are, that's what I'm going to carry forward to the rest of the board. So I look forward to that, and look forward to engaging you through District 5.
Mr. Williams, this question will go to you first. The perception of administrative load has become a hot topic in public education across the country. Do you feel this is happening in Polk County, and how would you address budget constraints and funding shortages?
This is the big one, isn't it? This is the uncomfortable question. Answer to this is possibly. As the education system has changed and school systems are held to more governmental compliance regarding data, analytical-driven standards for testing and funding, the burden of proof has fallen on the administration to provide this information and results. I did research, and a study in 2023 shows that from 1950 to 2009, U.S. student population rose 96%, while non-teaching positions rose 702% nationwide. Are we facing a situation of meeting more burdens, requirements, and responsibility resulting in additional personnel or assistance being needed to meet the standards at the cost of student learning and budgets? Has increased governmental influence impacted the actual education of our students, and how do we meet both governmental standards and student education. I'm not saying that there's not a need for additional administrative roles, but we must be responsible in meeting these needs of both while also keeping a fiduciary responsibility with the county's money. We may have some redundancies in certain roles, responsibilities, or positions. If we are going to fill these administrative positions, we cannot have individuals that do not have the competency or work ethic in meeting the requirements of the position without having to also create additional support staff for that individual to fulfill the requirements of the job unless it's truly needed. Promotion can't be merely a reward for years of employment. Administrative positions must be based on a need, competency, passion for the job, ability to create a positive work environment, and above all, held to accountable results in leadership roles. Going above and beyond one's job requirements and expectations should be rewarded, but with promotion and power comes great responsibility and effort. We must also be open-minded to rewarding our teachers that excel in their role, who may also seek increased compensation with pay increases if that is truly where they perform best and want to be. We must keep our focus on teacher retention by encouraging them to remain with the school system that values their career by rewarding their effort, passion, and dedication for the job.
Ms. Robinson, same question. The perception of administrative load has become a hot topic in public education nationwide. Do you feel this is happening in Polk County, and how would you address budget constraints and funding shortages?
The issue of administrative load has indeed become a significant concern in the public education across the country. In our community, we must carefully assess whether administrative positions are being added at a disproportionate rate compared to teaching positions. To address budget constraints and funding shortages, we could consider conducting a thorough review of administrative roles and responsibility to ensure the efficiency and utilize positions effectively. It is crucial to prioritize funding for direct educational resources and student support services to ensure that our students are receiving the best possible education despite budget limitations.
Thank you. Mr. Hawkins, same question. Would you like me to repeat it? In the interest?
No, I'm
I'm
good.
happy to, but in the interest of time, if you don't.
No, I'm good. So, yes, no, maybe. I mean, there's a process to figure out if there's bloat in the system or not. I mean, you can order an audit from the state. They'll come in and analyze what your student population, what your administrative positions should be, and that's easily done. You know, at the end of the day, we've got to look at, are the jobs that we have directly affecting the positive influence of the lives of students, okay? And then once we figure that out, okay, how are they funded? And school funding is all over the place. And current superintendent, Dr. Thomas, she's done a great job of having financial classes that you can go to and understand what pots of money and where things are coming from. But so, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's funded locally, state, federal. So we've got to figure that out and look at those positions, and then look at the audit done to see where we're at as far as populations of administration versus populations of students, and see if what our positions are they having a positive influence on the lives of students? If they are, we'll figure out how to fund it. If they're gone tomorrow and students don't notice, then I don't know about that. That's just kind of how I feel about it.
Mr. Team, same question.
Thank you. What I alluded to earlier, we've got to make sure at the school level that our students have every resource that they need. They have the staff to support them at that level. If we're there, that's great. Then we look and we start looking at our administrative staff and see where we are there, and where can we make those budget cuts to least affect student learning. We went through and we've talked about COVID. The schools, every school district was just given pots of money, COVID funds, ESSER funds, to help with learning loss. And I know you could hire personnel with that, learning coaches, things of that nature, to help that learning loss. And you hope that when that budget goes away, that you have some attrition where you've had teachers retire and people can feel, if they have to leave those roles due to budget confinements, they can go back and possibly get back in the classroom or reallocate funds to cover it. Bottom line is it being done? I don't know. As a school board member, I've got to make sure that we are fiscally sound and our students are where they need to be and have the resources to close these gaps that we have. And I can't vote for anything that doesn't support that.
Thank you.
If you've made it to the end of this one, thanks for watching this second video in the series of coverage on the candidate forum from Thursday evening, April 25th at the Rockmart Theater. Head on over to polktoday.com to catch the other parts. I'm Kevin, the editor. Thanks for watching this Polk Today coverage of the 2024 candidate forums. Oh, and don't forget to go vote starting on Monday for the upcoming May 21st primary. More on early voting sometime this weekend.